Hello, welcome to Module 2, Information Management Tools. In this module, we'll focus on how to keep the information you've gathered organized and accessible. As a PhD student, you will likely collect a large volume of articles, books, and data throughout your research. Without a good management system, it's easy to lose track of sources, forget where you found a particular quote, or spend hours digging for that one article you read months ago. Effective information management will save your time, reduce stress, and improve the quality of your writing by ensuring you can readily cite and revisit sources. Let's start by considering a common scenario. You perform a literature search using the skills learned in Module 1 and download a pile of PDF articles. Perhaps you also bookmark some websites or save references from conference proceedings, etc. Initially, this might be a handful of files, but over the years of your PhD, it could become hundreds of documents. How will you keep track of all this? How will you remember which paper concluded what, or in which folder you saved that critical reference you remember? This is where information management tools come in. In particular, we are going to look at reference management software as a key solution, along with other strategies for organizing your information. The information management can be divided into three sections. First, to create a database, which is made by capturing references from different sources of information. To manage bibliographic references, by designing a structure of folders and applying different utilities to work with them and share them. And the generation of citations and references automatically, which will be inserted in the manuscript being worked on. Reference management software. Why and what? The reference management tools, also called bibliographic management software, are applications designed to help you collect, store, organize, and cite your references. Instead of manually maintaining a list of references or a folder full of PDFs with obscure file names, these tools allow you to build a personal library of sources. They can automatically generate citations and bibliographies in various styles like APA, MLA, Chicago, Vancouver, etc. as you write. Using such software not only saves you countless hours of formatting references, but also helps prevent citation errors. In fact, studies have shown that a large portion of graduate students use reference managers. In one survey, approximately 58% of students reported using a tool like this, yet many others do not, often due to not knowing about them or not taking the time to learn. By becoming familiar with a reference manager, you are equipping yourself with a powerful tool that can significantly streamline your research workflow. Using reference management software to write scientific documents decreases transcription errors and ensures the coherence between the notes and the references in the research work. The reference manager software makes it possible to change easily the appearance of notes and references, adapting them to the style views of the journal we want to publish our manuscript in, for instance. There are some popular reference management tools. They are very well known in the academic world, and each one has its own strengths. The right choice can depend on your lab or university supports, your personal preference, your field, but any of them can serve the basic purposes you need. Let me briefly introduce a few options. First, Zotero. Zotero is a reference management software that works in the web environment with a high-performance desktop applications, and his name comes from the Albanian word Zotero, meaning having or master learning. It's a free open-source tool that is very popular among researchers. It's user-friendly and integrates well with web browsers, allowing you to capture citation information from article web pages with one click. It has a desktop application and cloud sizes, so you can access your library from multiple devices. Zotero also lets you attach PDFs, add notes, and tags entries with keywords. It has also the best compatibility with the most used information sources, and it has a plugin to capture references from the web and another plugin to insert citations and references in different text processors like Word, OpenOffice, or Google Docs, for instance. There are some tutorials on YouTube on how to use Zotero, and I have chosen this link for you to watch if you like. The second reference management tool we are talking about is Mendeley. Mendeley is free reference management software. It has also premium options. It was originally developed for academics, but now is managed by Elsevier. It's one of the most used in the academic world. It's available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, and it combines a reference management tool with a multidisciplinary database. Mendeley is known for its PDF organizing capabilities. For instance, it can automatically rename and organize your PDF files. It also has a social aspect, allowing you to form groups and share references with your colleagues. Mendeley also offers citation plugins for Word and other writing software. About how to use Mendeley Reference Manager, you have a complete beginner's guide on YouTube as well in this link. The third reference management tool we are talking about is RedWork. RedWork is very popular in university libraries. It is a powerful commercial reference management software with subscription based via universities. RedWork has a rich feature set and is very robust for large libraries of references. It's widely used in many universities and has strong integration with Microsoft Word for cite-as-you-write functionality. To getting started with RedWork, I have found this link on YouTube as well for you. In the academic world, there are other reference management tools that are becoming more and more popular. For instance, EndNote. EndNote works with Web of Science. They are basically designed to work together simultaneously and facilitate the research. Biblioteca, in combination with LaTeX, is very useful for those working in computational fields. Or Paperpile, for instance, popular for Google Docs users. It saves time with a smart, intuitive interface, provide access to your PDFs from anywhere, or add citations and bibliographies to Google Docs. Each of these tools can serve our purposes. If you are not already using one, I recommend picking one, perhaps starting with Autora, whichever your peers or library recommend, and then sticking with it so that all your references are in one organized system. The landscape of tools is always evolving, but the core functions are similar. They help you manage citations and documents. The next step is build and organize your library. Once you have chosen a tool, how do you use it effectively? Let's go through the general process, which is quite similar across platforms. First, import references. Reference managers allow you to import bibliographic information from databases and websites. Many databases have a button to export or save to EndNote, Redbox, Zotero, etc. With Zotero Mendeley browser extensions, for instance, you can often save a reference with one click while viewing the articles page. You can also import PDF files directly. The software will attempt to extract the citation info. Additionally, if you have a DOI, Digital Object Identifier, or ISBN, you can usually input that and the tool will fetch the details. Then, to organize into folders or collections. Just like you might sort files into folders, you can create collections or groups within your reference manager for different topics or projects. For instance, if you have one line of research on renewable energy policy and another on energy storage technology, you might keep references for each in separate folders. Many tools also support tags or labels, which allow a more flexible organization across folders. For instance, tagging some papers as theory, some as methodology, etc., regardless of which folders they are in. Then, attach files and notes. It's useful to attach the PDF of the article directly to the reference entry in your library if possible. This way, clicking the reference in your manager can open the full text instantly. Most reference managers can store the PDF for you. Some have cloud storage limits, so be mindful of that and take care. You can also add your own notes or annotations. For instance, after reading an article, you might write a short summary or key points in the reference manager's notes field, or highlight important sections in the PDF using the tool's PDF reader. Zotero and Mendeley supporting up PDF annotation, for example. Then, search and filter your library. As your collection grows and grows, You can use the search function within the Reference Manager to quickly find a paper by keyword, author, or year. This is much faster than combing through folders manually. You can also usually sort or filter by fields like author or publication. These features turn your personal library into a searchable database. Citing while writing. One of the best and biggest advantages of maintaining your references in a management tool is the ability to cite while you write. Most reference managers offer plugins for word processors, Microsoft Word, LibreOffice, Google Docs, or integration with LaTeX through Biblioteca as well. These let you insert citations from the library directly into your document. For example, if you're writing your dissertation in Word and you need to cite a paper by, for instance, Smith et al. 2020, you can use the plugin to find the reference in your library and insert it. The software will automatically format the in-text citation, say as between brackets, etc., Smith et al. 2020, for your API style, for instance, and then add the full reference to your bibliography at the end of the document too. If you later need to change the citation style, perhaps because a journal requires a different format, you can switch styles with a few clicks, and the entire document, citations, and bibliography will reformat automatically. This feature eliminates a huge amount of manual editing and ensures consistency and correctness in your citations. I will give you a tip. Even with these tools, always double-check that your citations are correct and complete, because occasionally imported data might have errors, a missing page, numbers of capitalization issues in titles, and other errors. The Reference Manager makes it easy to correct these details in your library, and those changes will propagate to your document, so be careful with that. Beyond the Reference Managers, there are other tools and practices very convenient for your work. While Reference Managers are central to managing literature, consider a few other practices and tools to keep your research organized. Do annotation and note-taking. Develop a system for taking notes on what you read. Some researchers use a separate tool like Evernote, OneNote, Notion, or Obsidian, for instance, to jot down summaries and thoughts on each paper, sometimes linking notes together by theme. Others stick with pen and paper or simple word processor files. The key is to have accessible notes so that when you later write your literature review or need to recall information, you don't have to reread every paper. You might, for example, maintain an annotated bibliography document where for each source you have a short paragraph of its main finding and relevance. Then, organizing PDFs in folders. If you prefer not to rely solely on the Reference Manager's internal storage, you can organize your PDF files in a structured folder system on your computer or cloud drive. Some do this in addition to using a Reference Manager. For instance, you might have folders by topic or chapter of your thesis. If you do this, rename files with meaningful names. For instance, Smith 2020 Renewable Energy Policy.pdf, etc., instead of using a database ID string. It is very useful to quickly recognize them. However, note that many reference managers can do this file organizing for you automatically based on the metadata. Take a version control for writing. As you gather information, you will also start writing drafts or papers or thesis chapters. So consider using version control or at least systematic file names like Chapter 2 Draft version 1, Chapter 2 Draft version 2, etc. so you don't confuse different versions of your work. While this is more about managing your own documents, it's part of the broader landscape of keeping your research process organized. Receive alerts and current awareness. Information management also includes keeping up to date with new literature. You can set up email alerts or RSS feeds for research journals in many databases. For example, in Google Scholar, you can create an alert for a keyword, or in a database like the Web of Science, you could set an alert for when new papers cite a seminal article you care about. This way, the information comes to you, and you can decide whether to add new findings to your collection. And finally, back up your data. Whichever tools you are using, always backup your information libraries. Most reference managers have options to sign to the cloud, or at least export your library as a file. Losing your curated library of references and PDFs could be very painful, very painful, so ensure it's protected. For instance, Zotero offers cloud backup to a certain limit fee, or you can manually backup the Zotero library files. Similarly, keep copies of important notes or spreadsheets you maintain. Let me briefly provide you some citation best practices. Always use authoritative scientific sources. Don't rely on what you find on the website, Google, or search, etc. Avoid second-hand quotations, and always verify metadata before inserting that into your thesis. To cite and write references, there are different styles, like many style handbooks or MLA, the Chicago Manual Style, the Vancouver Style, the IEEE Standard Style Manuals for Engineering, the Council of Science Editors, and the Harvard System of References, or APA, one of the most used in academic world, and among many others. Always check which is the one required for your thesis, your paper, for publishing in a journal, etc. To make a brief abstract of what we have been talking here, the key takeaways from Module 2 are: use a reference management tool to organize your references and documents. This will save you time and reduce errors when citing sources. Always keep your reference library well structured with folders, collections, and use tags or notes to add context to your sources. Take advantage of citation plugins to automate the creation of citations and bibliographies, allowing you to focus on writing and analysis. Develop complementary systems for note-taking and file organization that suit your workflow, ensuring that you can easily retrieve and review information when you need it. And finally, stay proactive in managing information flow. Use alerts for new publications and always back up your data. By implementing these tools and habits, you'll transform what could be an overwhelming pile of information in a well-organized knowledge base. This will make the process of writing your dissertation, papers, etc., or any scholarly work much smoother. You'll spend less time hunting for that paper you saw somewhere, and more time synthesizing and thinking critically about the content. Let's find the conclusion of this Module 2. Now that you know how to search for literature and keep track of it, we move to the next crucial aspect, evaluating the information you gathered and using it ethically. It is not enough just to find and store dozens of articles. As a scholar, you must critically assess the quality and credibility. You must use the information in a principled way, giving proper credit and adhering to legal ethical norms. So, use reference managers for organization and accuracy, follow style guidelines strictly, and review citations and references before submission. In the next video on Module 3, Carolina will guide you through how to evaluate information and navigate the ethical and legal considerations involved in using it. Thanks for your attention and goodbye.